Hello everyone, this is part 3 of What If Naruto Chose Hinata, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. That was a pretty simple mission, said Naruto walking along the hallway to the Hokage office doors along with Team Kakashi including Yamato. Yeah, considering as we did all the work, Naruto, replied Sakura as she gave a smirk and taking off her black gloves. Yeah. It doesn't matter now, snickered Naruto as he turned his head and looked up as they finally entered the quarters of Hokage Tsunade. Tsunade, who was eating dango, slowly rose her head and gave a welcoming smile to the now entering Team Kakashi. Ah, Team Kakashi, how did the mission go? Everything was fine. No problems, answered Kakashi as he looked his normal look after a mission. Do you have anything else for us to take care of for today? Tsunade blinked then ruffled through some papers on her desk calmly. No, there is nothing else it seems. Naruto gave a loud cheer, yes. Thank goodness. Everyone looked at Naruto suddenly afterwards, waiting for her answer to his sudden outburst. What are you cheering for? Asked Sakura as everyone still looked at Naruto. Naruto gave a cheesing smile then settled his facial expressions to explain with a smile still set. Before Naruto could start his explanations, Tsunade spoke up over him. Wait, this is one thing I need to tell everyone about before we get into other matters. Naruto looked over at Tsunade, as did the rest of Team Kakashi, waiting for what she had to inform them about. Naruto muttered in question. Tsunade folded her arms and sat back into her chair. Due to certain matters that I have heard from Jiraiya, I am going to ask you guys tell every shinobi to be on guard and to report to me of any weirdness that happens, no matter how small it is. Kakashi and Yamato both raised an eyebrow in confusion. Naruto, Sakura and Sai remained silent as they didn't fully understand the task of which Tsunade was asking them to do. What do you mean, weirdness? Asked Naruto. That is on a need-to-know basis, Naruto. Just inform everyone to watch out for anything. We are on alert as of now. But, why? At least tell us something, Naruto said interrupting Tsunade's statement. That is not important, yelled Tsunade as she interrupted Naruto's interruption. Naruto, in retaliation, gave a small annoyed snicker as he looked away from Tsunade. Seeing this and being annoyed by it, Tsunade leaned over her desk and grabbed Naruto by the collar of his shirt, lifting him inches off the ground and looked at his face with her upset look as she growled back in frustration. Naruto continued to look off to the side, completely ignoring Tsunade's glare as he still had the annoyed look on his face. Alright you two. We don't want any trouble. Kakashi intervened with a playful grin as he rubbed the back of his head. Sakura and Sai remained silent while looking at Tsunade and Naruto's glares and stare down. At this point, Sakura and Sai would have an anime sweet drop on them. HMPH. Tsunade snickered as she let go of Naruto's collar and sat back into her chair blowing of steam of annoyance to calm down. Anyway, that is all for today. Tsunade said to them. Naruto smirked and walked out of the room along with Sakura and Sai. Kakashi and Yamato both bowed to Tsunade in respect then began to leave as they approached the door. Suddenly, Shizune, holding a piece of paper, came rushing into the room before Kakashi and Yamato could leave. Tsunade-sama, she said gasping for air from her running. I just received this mission request. It's of dire importance, she said as she handed over the paper to Tsunade. Kakashi and Yamato both stopped and looked in curiosity at what was the problem. Tsunade examined the paper. This is clearly an S-rank mission, she said as her eyebrow twitched of what the mission was. She looked up from her desk at Kakashi and Yamato. Kakashi, Yamato, I need one of you to take care of this, she said looking at the two. I'll take care of it, said Kakashi as he walked up to Tsunade's desk. No, you have been busy lately with missions and training Naruto. I'll do it, interrupted Yamato as he walked to Tsunade's desk and placed a hand on Kakashi's shoulder smiling. Normally, I would have Anko do these kind of missions but for some reason, she has been spending time in the Sand Village, said Tsunade as she wondered why. Kakashi and Yamato looked at each other and chuckled as they knew the truth behind Anko's time in the Sand Village. Meanwhile, at the Sand Village, How many clothes can one person have? Yelled Anko as she handwashed Gaara's clothes and robes while sitting on the floor. And don't forget these, too, said Gaara in his normal monotone low voice as he walked up to her and dumped a basket full of Kankuro and Temari's clothes on Anko's head. Be sure to do a good job, he said with a hint of amusement as he walked off with the empty basket, leaving Anko under a pile of dirty clothes. Grr. Stupid Kazekage. Anko muttered and growled in a playful anger as she continued to handwash them. Well, anyway, here, Tsunade said, giving Yamato the mission paper. Yamato nodded and took hold of the paper and left the room. Tsunade smiled, then looked at Kakashi. Kakashi, we have learned that Orochimaru may be up to something. Be on the alert for anything. Kakashi placed his hands in his pocket. I know. Jiraiya has informed me to keep a very watchful eye out for Naruto in particular. Yes, there is reason to believe he may need Naruto for his evil plans. What he has planned is yet to be discovered, but we believe it may have started when Jiraiya performed his Destiny Limiter Jutsu, explained Tsunade. Shizune gasped. Do you think that is what that weird-looking purple aura was that shot into the air after Jiraiya-sama finished the jutsu? Yes. And, Jiraiya has also informed me that he was informed by the Anbu unit that the man to whom he sent the Destiny Scroll to prior to the opening of the tunnel was found. He also didn't have his face, said Tsunade as she looked down thinking. Kakashi looked down as well thinking, no doubt the work of Orochimaru, he said to them. Shizune nodded and Tsunade looked up. Right. Jiraiya went searching to see if he can find more information about this. He told me that he has a hunch that Orochimaru is trying to gain enough strength to perform his custom jutsu he made a long time ago that he called Taju Edo Tensei no Jutsu, explained Tsunade. Summoning the Kakashi said as he thought on. Summoning style, mass impure world resurrection. If that is what he is attempting to do, then we are in trouble. He could very well bring on the destruction of Konoha with that, said Tsunade in deep thought. Yeah, the only thing about that plan, though, is that he needs a large amount of energy to it. Energy both cursed and strong. Stronger than the Hokage or any of the Sannin, replied Shizune. He must have a plan to get that enormous energy if he has started his plans already. But from where can he get it? Thought Tsunade. On the Konoha paths, Naruto, Sakura and Sai walked and talked about what they were going to do. Oh, explain to me again. Why did you have a sudden outburst in Tsunade's office? Asked Sakura looking at Naruto. Naruto looked up and grinned. I am supposed to be meeting Hinata later, he said with a chuckle. Sai remained silent and continued to read his book that he has been reading ever since the opening of the Konoha festival. Sakura turned her gaze from Naruto and looked down as she began to remember what happened that night of the tunnel. How she saw Sasuke, and what he told her. Suddenly, a yell toward Team Kakashi was heard. Hey! Sakura! Sai! Naruto! Over here! Team Kakashi looked to where the yell came from and saw that it was Ino along with Shikamaru and Chuji. They were standing in front of Ino's family flower shop talking. Hey Ino, said Sakura with a smile as they approached. Ino gave a smile in return to Sakura. Naruto walked up to Shikamaru. Hey there, Shikamaru, said Naruto. Shikamaru rubbed the back of his head and sighed in tiredness. Ah, hey Naruto. Sai, holding his book and his grin, walked up to Chuji. Hello Sai, said Chuji with a friendly smile. Suddenly, Naruto and Sakura's eye twitched as they began to assume what Sai was going to say to Chuji. Sai gave his usual smile, hey fatas, but before he could call Chuji fatass, Naruto quickly covered Sai's mouth and chuckled nervously. Chuji continued to smile as he didn't know what Sai was going to say. Naruto took Sai and walked over from the rest of them. Did you forget? That is taboo, Naruto reminded Sai. Oh, sorry, it must have slipped my mind. I will remember from now on, he assured Naruto. Naruto gave a smile and a sigh of relief at Sai's statement. Sai began to think. Okay, so it is very important that I remember. To avoid harsh consequences, I must say the opposite of what I am thinking. Naruto and Sai, shortly after, joined back with the rest in a general conversation. So, where are you guys off to? Asked Ino with a hand on her hip, looking at Sakura then Naruto and Sai. Well, we were in the process of deciding on what to do when we ran into you guys, replied Sakura. What are you doing? Working at your family shop. It's troublesome, said Shikamaru with a yawn. We are just having a team talk, said Chuji with a smile. The conversation between Team Kakashi and Team Asuma continued on for minutes in front of the Yamanaka flower shop. Oh yeah, Shikamaru, how's it going with Temari? Asked Naruto. It's good I suppose, Shikamaru said as he rubbed the back of his head. She is back at the Sand Village for a couple hours. Something about seeing Gaara boss someone around being too hilarious to pass up. Meanwhile, at the Sand Village. Gaara, where is the food at? I'm hungry, exclaimed Kankuro as he sat at the dinner table with Gaara and Temari. Gaara, sitting down with his arms folded, unfolded his arms and clapped his hands twice quickly as if he were calling a maid. Suddenly, Anko, dressed in proper maid attire of the Sand Village, came walking in holding a dinner platter with one hand that held 3 plates. Here. I mean, dinner is served, said Anko annoyed and disruptly as she placed the plates in front of the Sand siblings. Gaara cleared his voice as if to signal for Anko to behave and act more proper, which made Anko growl in annoyance more as she forced herself to stand up, place one hand behind her back and set the table in a graceful fashion for Gaara, Kankuro and Temari. Good S, you may leave for now, said Gaara in his normal low slow voice as he clapped twice again to signal for Anko to leave them. Anko gave a fake smile to him then turned to leave, all the while muttering under her breath, stupid Kazekage. So, Naruto, how is the relationship with Hinata going? Asked Chuji. It's great. Matter of fact. Naruto looked down at his watch. I'm supposed to meet her at the Canoa Mall, he said as he looked up from it and back at Chuji. That's great that you and Shikamaru found who you're destined for. I didn't have the nerve to go on the tunnel ride. It probably would have not let me in anyway, said Chuji looking down in slight sadness. Ah, Chuji, any girl would be happy to go out with you. You just haven't shown your loving side to them, stated Shikamaru. Yes, you are a good size and a good-looking guy, said Sai, taking a second from reading his emotions-showing book to comment. Chuji began to cheer up as he believed the words of Shikamaru and Sai, not knowing that Sai only says the opposite of what he truly means to avoid dire consequences. Well, I gotta go, you guys. I'll see ya later, Naruto said, walking off to the Canoa Mall and waving back at them. Well, I think I am going to go home now. My dad wants to spend some quality family time. I just think he doesn't want to be alone with mother, said Shikamaru. See ya, he said, walking off as well. Sai spoke up afterwards, I am leaving as well. I have a lot of studying to do, he said as he began to walk in the direction of the Kanoa library. Bye Sai, exclaimed Ino as she blushed and waved at Sai leaving. Ino, after waving to Sai, looked back at Sakura. Since everyone is leaving, I guess I'll get Asuma sensei to buy me some all-you-can-eat barbecue. Yay, yummy barbecue, exclaimed Chuji as he left the scene as well. Sakura smiled at Chuji then looked back at Ino. Hey Sakura, don't you think Sai sorta looks like Sasuke a little? Asked Ino. Well, he sorta does, in a way I guess, why? Asked Sakura. I don't know, just asking. He is so handsome too. Why didn't you go on the tunnel ride with him to see if you two were destined to be together then? Asked Sakura. I don't know. Didn't give it much thought. Did you go on it? Asked Ino as she placed her other hand on her opposing hip. Yeah, and guess who I ended up with? Sasuke, yelled Sakura as she grinned at Ino then did a small girlish shriek. All those times you fight with me over him were in vain as he was destined for me. He, gloated Sakura as she recalled those times Ino made her so mad when she said that Sasuke was going to be with her instead of someone with such a big forehead. HMPH. Yeah, just lying. There's no way Sasuke would be destined for you, shouted Ino in anger. The truth hurts, Ino pig. I win Sasuke's heart. In the end, true love wins, said Sakura as she thought of Sasuke. At first I thought that I was destined to be alone as at first I didn't see anyone beside me. But then, on the boardwalk, he appeared. In the moonlight. Ino's eyebrow twitched a little hearing what Sakura just said. Wait, he wasn't sitting next to you. No, said Sakura. Well, Jiraiya had said that the person that will be sitting next to you on the ride will be your destined person, right? Asked Ino in curiosity. Quote. Yeah, he did say that. Sakura said as her grin started to S down slowly. If he wasn't sitting next to you, then it's possible that, You and Sasuke-kun aren't going to be destined to be together. Exclaimed Ino as she began to think she still had a chance to win Sasuke's heart. Quote. That can't be right. Sakura said slowly as a tear began to build up in her left eye. Sakura then looked up at Ino with determination. I have to find out. I have to find Jiraiya. He'll know, she said as she turned her back on Ino and began to walk while thinking if what Ino said was right. Wait, Sakura. Ino called out to her friend and rival, but Sakura was already gone. Quote. Ino looked down as well as she had made Sakura somewhat distraught. She sighed slowly and walked into her family's flower shop. Naruto continued to run down the path leading to the Canoa Mall. Darn it, I'm late. I hope she doesn't leave, he said to himself as he continued to run as fast as he could to get there in time to meet Hinata. Yo, Naruto, called out a voice to Naruto as he ran past the person. Naruto quickly stopped his footwork and looked behind him to see none other than Jiraiya leaning up against a building with his arms folded. Ero Senin, Naruto replied as he walked over to Jiraiya. What do you want? I won't loan you any more money. I gotta meet Hinata at the mall. Naruto's statement was interrupted as Jiraiya suddenly, without word, tossed Naruto a small sack of money. There, Naruto. That is the money I owe you plus some more. Buy her something nice, said Jiraiya with a smirk. Naruto looked down at the sack of money then back up at Jiraiya in confusion. Just take it, Naruto. Have a good time with Hinata. I'll see ya later. Jiraiya said to him then walked away with his smile fading slowly. Naruto just looked on at the back of Jiraiya in confusion. This is great. Now I have money to buy Hinata stuff. Something must be wrong with Ero-sanin today, he never pays me back, oh well. To the mall. He grinned and continued to run to the mall. Jiraiya walked thinking about what he has discovered. Naruto. Orochimaru is up to something big, and he has you in his sights, he thought to himself. Suddenly, a voice called out to him. Jiraiya. It was Sakura. She ran in front of him and stopped abruptly as if something was troubling her. Jiraiya, I need to ask you something. About your tunnel. The Destiny Tunnel. Jiraiya looked on at Sakura with his norm face. Oh. Sakura lowered her stare from Jiraiya's face to the ground. Quote. If, at the end of the tunnel, if you happen to end up sitting next to no one, what does that mean? Jiraiya's eyebrow twitched slightly as he looked on at Sakura. Naruto finally got to the Canoa Mall and ran inside. Where is she? I'm late. I hope she didn't leave already, he said as he looked around. Naruto-kun, shouted a familiar voice from a close distance. Naruto turned his head and smiled as he saw the long-haired Hinata waving at him and smiling. He walked up to her and gave her a welcome hug. Hey Hinata, I was beginning to think you had left already, Naruto said with a chuckle as he rubbed the back of his head. I knew you'd come. I was just looking at some clothes, she said with a slight stutter as she is getting better at her speech around Naruto. Oh hey, Ero-sanin just shockingly paid me back. Let's go buy some things for you, said Naruto as he grabbed her hand, causing her to blush. You don't have to do that for me, she said with her blush still intact. I want to. You're worth it, Naruto said with a warm smile directed at Hinata, causing her blush to deepen. Naruto and Hinata spent the whole time shopping hand in hand. They visited mostly every store from clothes to technology and even to weaponry. They were having fun together. They even spent a half hour playing games in the arcade room of the mall. It wasn't so much the clothes that made Hinata happy, but the time that they spent together that enriched the moments. Before they knew it, it was dark outside and Naruto had bought Hinata over 10 outfits, 20 packs of kunais and shuriken, and some jewelry. Hinata couldn't stop smiling as she became comfortable being around Naruto, even to the point that she grabbed Naruto's free arm and held it close to her and in the process, laying her head gently upon his shoulders. Naruto's smile grew more and more merry as he could clearly see Hinata was having the time of her life with him. Meanwhile, Sakura stood atop her roof looking on at the full moon in dismay. She began to recall what Jiraiya had told her about her question and leaned back thinking. She turned her gaze to the starry night and let out a sigh as she closed her eyes. Quote. Destiny, she muttered to herself slowly as she slowly began to recall the moment that night with her and Sasuke. She slowly rose to her feet and jumped into her room from her opened window. She glanced down at her watch, which showed the time being 10:47 p.m. She sat on her bed thinking, then reached for and hugged her teddy bear, which she named Destiny, for obvious reasons, given to her by Sasuke. She continued to sit on her bed and hugged Destiny tighter, then glanced down at her watch once more, in which it showed the time now being 10:50. It's almost 11 p.m., she thought to herself. She glanced out of her window at the moon in a wondrous gaze, as if she was waiting for someone to show. Back at the Canoa Mall, Naruto and Hinata continued to walk, Hinata still clinging onto Naruto's arm tightly in love. Naruto led Hinata to any place she wanted to go. They walked and walked, but the fatigue of walking so much seemed to not affect them. It was as if them being together made them immune to their aches. Hey, look, Hinata, a mall merry-go-round, said Naruto to Hinata as he pointed to the merry-go-round. It looked so elegant. It was lit up with white lights all around that glowed the surrounding area softly and calmly. The horses were all valiant looking and everything about it looked so wonderful. Hinata's eyes lit up with amazement. Wanna go on it? Asked Naruto. Sure, answered Hinata. Naruto led Hinata to the merry-go-round and walked through the entrance to get in. Hey, look, it's Neji and Tenten, said Naruto to Hinata. Getting on a tall white horse was Neji, Hyuga and Tenten. Neji first helped Tenten onto the horse. Thank you, Tenten said to Neji as she finally got settled on the stallion. Neji gave a nod and a smile as he looked up at Tenten in the beautiful setting of the merry-go-round. He then turned his head and looked for a horse to get on himself when suddenly, Tenten tapped behind her on the horse, signaling Neji to get on the same horse as her. Neji gave a smile and a slight blush grew upon his face as he climbed on the same horse as Tenten and sat behind her closely. Tenten blushed, feeling Neji place his hands on her hips to hold on. In return, she gently placed her hands on top of his and ran her fingers between his. Blushing more than ever, Tenten leaned back slightly and rested her back upon Neji's chest. Hinata sighed in awe as she had never seen her cousin look so relaxed, so carefree, so happy, so in love. Naruto looked on at Neji and Tenten as well and smiled for them. Hinata, finally turning away from Neji and Tenten, took Naruto by the hand and led slowly to a chariot seat. Naruto sat down in the chariot that was attached to two beautiful horses. Hinata sat down next to Naruto and gently cuddled up next to him lovingly. She leaned her head toward his shoulders and rested it upon it. Forgetting about her shyness, she wrapped her arms around him and embraced him as the ride was about to begin. Naruto slowly took his arm and swung it around Hinata's shoulders. Afterwards, leaning his head down up hers, making their hair ruffle playfully. Before they knew it, the ride. Tenten began to feel as if Neji was her knight in shining armor that just rescued her from a dragon and is now taking her away from all her worries. Hinata, in the arms of Naruto, closed her eyes and felt as if she was no longer on a mall's merry-go-round, but was on a romantic night carriage ride that would lead her and her love to the moon and the stars. Meanwhile, at Orochimaru's stronghold, Sasuke was just entering into the chamber doors. Kabuto confronted Sasuke. Where have you been? Asked Kabuto. I don't have to tell you. Now begone, said Sasuke evilly as he walked past Kabuto and into the snake statue chamber. He walked up to the snake statue and sat down facing the door. Kabuto walked in behind Sasuke slowly and stopped in front of him. He slowly fixed his glasses, then looked at his watch, which showed the time being 11:30 p.m. You've been gone for 30 minutes. You have been leaving here at around 11 o'clock exactly, every day. Where are you going? Asked Kabuto as he fixed his glasses once more. Sasuke remained silent, not bothering to answer Kabuto's question. Where is Orochimaru? He is preparing at the stronghold. You know, Sasuke-kun. Orochimaru is going to need you in his plans, your cursed form level 2 that is, said Kabuto walking away from Sasuke-sama. He already told me, said Sasuke darkly. He told me that I will need to get him the power. He needs my cursed chakra. No, that is not what he is going to use you for. He has already found a power source. You will not be needed for that, Kabuto said, folding his arms. Sasuke remained quiet as he was wrong about what Orochimaru had planned for Sasuke. What is he going to use for the power source and how is he going to get it? Asked Sasuke, still sounding a bit evil. Kabuto chuckled. Like Orochimaru-sama said, you are going to get him the power source, and that power source is the Kyuubi. That was great, said Hinata as she and Naruto walked off the merry-go-round. Yeah, it was, Naruto replied with a grin. Naruto and Hinata continued to walk together as they held each other's hand. Hinata gave a slight blush from the holding of hands, but nonetheless, she enjoyed it even more than her face turned red. Naruto suddenly turned to his watch and noticed the time. Whoa, it's late. I didn't even realize that it was even dark outside, exclaimed Naruto. Hinata giggled at Naruto's discovery of the time and placed her open hand upon Naruto's hand when suddenly she saw something in a store's display case that caught her interest. That's beautiful, she said in awe. Naruto glanced over at what Hinata was looking at and went into awe as well. What showed in the jewelry display case was a golden chain necklace with a heart-shaped charm locket hanging on it. Wow, that looks so cool, said Naruto as he began to think. That would be the perfect gift for Hinata. I wonder if I still have enough money to get it. Naruto quickly ducked his free hand down into his pants pocket and pulled out his frog purse on the side without letting Hinata know he was checking his wallet. He quickly opened it, still without revealing what he was doing, and counted what was left of his financial payback from Jiraiya. Darn, I don't have enough, he thought to himself. Hinata approached the display case, letting go of Naruto's hand in the process, and examined the necklace further. Naruto walked slowly up behind Hinata and looked as well. Hinata and Naruto gazed at the elegant necklace without words. Suddenly, feeling Naruto's presence close to her, she turned away from the display case and back to Naruto, although, he kept his stare on the locket and continued to wonder how he could get it for Hinata. Naruto-kun, said Hinata softly to get his attention. Huh, oh, I'm sorry, Naruto said as his attention from the locket broke and was directed back to Hinata. I was just thinking, that's all. I suppose it's getting late. Maybe we should leave, Naruto suggested. Everything is starting to close. Yeah, Hinata softly agreed and slowly grabbed Naruto's hand once more. As Naruto walked with Hinata, his mind was still pondering on how great it would have been to get Hinata that necklace. They continued to walk on until they finally reached the entrance doors and walked out still holding hands. All the while, Hinata snuggled against Naruto lovingly as her symbolic way of telling Naruto it was alright and that just being with him finally was better than any necklace. Walking along the path that leads to Hinata's house, Naruto looked downward at the ground. Without even having to think about it, Hinata could easily tell what was on his mind. He was sad that he couldn't get that necklace for her. Naruto-kun. It's okay, Hinata said softly as her hair shined in the moonlight. I didn't want that necklace anyway. I just like spending tea time with Yu, she said to him shyly and began to blush. Hinata, thanks, Naruto said happily as he wanted to believe what she was saying, but deep inside, he knew she was only saying that to make him feel better. Hinata and Naruto continued walking down the path until they eventually ended at Hinata's front door. Once in front of her house door, she turned to face Naruto, all the while, feeling shy and looking downward to the ground. Well, good night Naruto-kun, she said shyly. Naruto gazed at Hinata and smiled softly, good night. Hinata. Hinata has a boyfriend, shouted Hinabi as she ran up to Hinata and smiled big for her sister. What? Hinata said nervously. Don't bother to deny it. I already told him everything, said Neji with a smirk. I saw you at the mall with Naruto on the merry-go-round. Hinata, why haven't you told me of your boyfriend? How long have you been seeing the Uzumaki kid? Asked Hiashi sternly. He looked on at his eldest daughter with a disappointing face. Hinata stammered to explain as she had a feeling that Hiashi wasn't going to accept her dating Naruto. But I mean, you see. But before she could finish saying what she was trying to say, Hiashi shook his head in a negative manner. She's been with him for a while now, said Hinabi with a smile. Neji nodded his head up and down agreeing with his youngest cousin. Suddenly, Hiashi snickered, folding his arms and turned his back on Hinata, making her look at the ground in sadness. Hiashi began to walk away without a word. Suddenly, he stopped. You've had a boyfriend all this time, and I haven't met him. Hinata raised her head in surprise at what her father was saying. Neji and Hinabi continued to smile. What? Invite him over for dinner. I can't have my daughter going out with someone I've never properly met before, he said, then slightly turned his head to Hinata, revealing a slight smile. Hinata's sadness melted away seeing her father smile. Right, she said, happy once again. Neji and Hinabi continued to smile. Finally reaching his house, Naruto walked in and closed the door. He slowly turned around. Where have you been? Shouted Jiraiya. Ero-sen-in. How do you keep getting in my house? Shouted Naruto. Never mind that for now. Naruto, I have found out some info about Orochimaru's plans and they have to do with you, said Jiraiya as he calmed down some. You told me that already, Ero-sen-in. Your memory is slipping fast, Naruto said jokingly. Listen up, Naruto. I received information from a reliable source that Orochimaru plans on using some jutsu ritual in attempts to destroy Konoha. My source, the person I got this info from, tells me that Orochimaru is going to perform the ritual within the last chamber of his haunted house, inside the Kanoa Park. He also told me that, but before Jiraiya could go on, Naruto butted in. Wait, who is this person that is telling you this? Some sort of spy? Asked Naruto in confusion. Something like that, but that doesn't matter, shouted Jiraiya as he was trying to hide it. Just be on the lookout for anything strange, as Tsunade said. I have a feeling that Orochimaru is going to do something to get you, he warned Naruto. I will. But first, why aren't you telling me who you have telling you this? Is he some sort of secret agent? Naruto asked. I can't tell you for certain reasons, Jiraiya said, then looked as if he was remembering something. Tell me, who is this spy? Shouted Naruto. Maybe later. I have to go now. Remember to be careful, Naruto, said the pervert hermit as he walked out of Naruto's apartment and closed the door behind him, leaving Naruto confused. Shaking his head, Naruto continued onward upstairs to his room where he changed into his pajama clothes and got in bed. He, soon enough, forgot about thinking on who Jiraiya's information-giving spy was and began to think about who Hinata would look with the necklace she wanted on. The next morning, Naruto arisen from his bed and checked the time. It was 10:43 a.m. Naruto jumped out of bed and quickly went into his closet and changed into his black and orange shinobi attire. Time to see what's going on today, said Naruto as he did a quick stretch and went out the door to see if anything interesting was going on in the streets of Konoha. Once out of his door, he walked onto the empty paths of the village and looked around. Where is everyone? He said to himself. The streets of Konoha were totally void of people. This is strange, no one's here, he said to himself, still looking around. I know, maybe Granny Tsunade will know, and with that, Naruto raced off toward the Hokage building. Yes, as we all know, Valentine's Day is tomorrow, and to celebrate this occasion, we are having Konoha's first ever Valentine's Day festival. Shouted Tsunade from her balcony to all the village people below. Naruto finally made it to the Hokage building and looked on at amazement at what he saw. Everyone in the village was gathered in front of Tsunade for a Hokage announcement. So this is where everyone is, Naruto said to himself as he approached the village crowd and started to walk among the huge crowd of people and suddenly saw a familiar face, not bothering to even listen to what was going on or what Tsunade was saying. Hey Sai, shouted Naruto, squeezing and passing through the people as best he could. Sai, holding his drawing book, turned his attention from Tsunade and looked over to see Naruto walking up to him from his side. Hello, Naruto. What's going on? Granny Tsunade making another announcement about something unnecessary? Asked Naruto as he still looked at Sai. Yes, Miss Tsunade has issued a public announcement this morning. I guess you didn't get the message, said Sai with his normal smile. I just woke up. I didn't know. Well, anyway, what's the announcement about? Asked Naruto as Tsunade kept on talking out to the huge crowd. Miss Tsunade is telling us about having a Valentine's Day festival tomorrow since it is going to be Valentine's Day tomorrow. Explained Sai. Oh, said Naruto. Tsunade continued. As tradition for this holiday would have it, it will be mandatory for you to get your admirer a Valentine's Day gift, said Tsunade to the crowd. That is all, Tsunade said to the ground and walked back into her office. The crowd of all the villagers began to disperse in their own direction and back to the daily workplaces and areas. Naruto stayed with Sai as they began to walk the path of Konoha talking. This festival is going to be so cool, said Naruto with a grin. So, I have to get Hinata a gift. What to get her? said Naruto out loud to himself. You will think of something, said Sai as he continued to smile his same smile. Oh yeah, have you seen Sakura-chan anywhere? Asked Naruto still walking with Sai. No, I haven't seen her since our return from the mission a day ago, replied Sai. Let's look for her. She should be around here somewhere, said Naruto. Sai nodded. You go that way and see if you see her and I'll go this way. Okay, Sai agreed. And with that, Naruto and Sai split up in search of their Kunyaki teammate. In his first looking spot, Naruto went to the park and looked around. She's not here, he said to himself. Sai, thinking of a place he saw Sakura at a lot of times, went into the Yamanaka flower shop in search of Sakura. Sai entered slowly and looked around. Shusha's not here, he said to himself when suddenly. Hey, Sai, shouted a familiar female voice. Sai turned around and looked to see who was calling him. Oh, hey there, miss. Lovely, Sai said with his same smile as always. Hearing this made Ino blush, but nonetheless, she approached him. You can just call me Ino, she said to Sai. Okay, Ino, Sai said, then began to look around, then went back up to Ino. Oh, Naruto and I are looking for Sakura, have she been here? He asked Ino. She hasn't been here since we all talked the other day. Ino replied. I see, responded Sai as he then turned his head to some of the beautiful flower arrangements on display. These flowers are really nice and lovely. I would like to draw them when I have the time, said Sai walking closer to the flowers he liked. Ino walked behind him and smiled. You draw? She asked him, then saw the book he was holding. What's that you're holding? This, Sai responded by holding up his drawing book. This is my drawing book. I like to draw, he said to her, never letting down his usual smile. Can I see? Asked Ino. Yeah, sure, he said as he handed over his drawing book to Ino. Ino began to go from page to page looking at Sai's precise drawings. These are wonderful, she said amazed. Suddenly a voice yelled out from outside. Sai, yelled Naruto. Oh, I have to go, he said quickly to Ino and ran out of the flower shop, forgetting about his book. Wait, you left your art book? Ino called after him, but he was already gone. Outside, Sai ran up to Naruto. Well, was she in there? Has Ino seen her? Asked Naruto. No, she has not seen Sakura either, responded Sai. Geez, where is she? Exclaimed Naruto as he placed a hand on his head and looked up in thought. Maybe she will turn up someplace if we just keep walking, suggested Sai. Yeah, you're probably right, said Naruto as they began to walk again. After a couple minutes of quiet walking, Naruto and Sai came up upon Guy and Tenten in the forest. Hey, maybe they have seen her, suggested Naruto looking at Guy and Tenten. Naruto and Sai both walked up to the two and looked at them. Guy and Tenten were standing and watching Neji and Rock Lee spar. The fight was amazing. Neji and Lee exchanged blow for blow. Both dodging and both making some hits connect. Go Lee, use the power of youth, shouted Guy as he watched Lee keep up with Neji. Go Neji, shouted Tenten. Kanoa Senpu, shouted Lee as he performed the taijutsu on Neji. Thinking fast, Neji blocked the kicks and performed his newest attack. 8 trigrams, empty palm, shouted Neji as he thrusted his right arm at Rock Lee, sending a gust of chakra at him and knocking him away. Recovering fast, Rock Lee bounced off from a tree with his feet to another tree, then to another until he was in Neji's blind spot, then he prepared his attack. Dynamic entry, shouted Rock Lee as he connected the kick taijutsu to Neji, sending the Hyuga flying. Neji quickly, before he could hit the ground, flipped to his feet and got into the gentle fist stance. Seeing this, Rock Lee responded by getting into his normal taijutsu stance. HMPH. Let's see you handle this, said Neji with a smirk to his friend and rival. Bring it on, said Lee, returning the friendly Kampai attitude. Suddenly Neji began to spin clockwise at a rapid rate. 8 trigrams, palm rotation. Hakusho Kaiten. The whirlwind of chakra began to increase in width and grew closer to a seemingly prepared Lee. That is a nice move, but I will overcome it, said Lee as he began to unwrap his bandages on his arm, then cross his arms in front of his face. The first gate. Initial gate. Unlock, shouted Rock Lee as he started to run at super high speeds around Neji's palm rotation technique, counterclockwise. What is he doing? asked Tenten. Circling the palm rotation isn't going to help him. I see, said Guy with a smirk. Lee is very smart, Tenten. A genius, even. Look closely at what he is doing. Naruto and Sai stood watching the fight in silence. Tenten looked on, then finally realized what Lee was up to. He's circling Neji's attack but in a different direction. But that will. Guy went on to explain. Yes, Tenten, when two forces move in different directions like that, it causes one of the forces to stop. It all has to do with the laws of physics. The force moving at the lowest speed will be made to stop by the higher counterclockwise motion force. In this case. Suddenly, Neji's heavenly spin technique began to slow down and eventually came to a stop. Yes, now it is time for my technique, shouted Rock Lee as he still circled Neji. Neji only looked on as a fast blur circled him. BYAKUGAN, shouted Neji as he activated his eye technique. Now, Rock Lee shouted as he suddenly appeared in front of Neji and kicked him up, sending him airborne. Rock Lee then disappeared once more and reappeared behind Neji. Now Neji, it is time, Rock Lee said with a smirk as suddenly his bandages began to surround and encase Neji. Take this. OMOTERENGE. Initial Lotus. Just then, Neji and Rock Lee began to go spiraling at a fast rate towards the ground. Nice try, Lee, said Neji with a smirk as they were getting closer to hitting the ground. Suddenly, Neji began to concentrate and made his chakra emerge from his body as if he was about to do the heavenly spin again. Very smart, Neji, said Guy. Why? What's so smart about what he is doing? Asked Naruto. You'll see, said Tenten with a smirk, still looking up at the two coming toward the ground. A TRIGRAMS large palm rotation. Hakusho Kaiten, shouted Neji. Suddenly, without Naruto and Sai knowing what just happened, Rock Lee was sent flying horizontally into a tree and fell to the ground. Neji continued falling down straight into the ground and hit it hard as did Lee. What just happened? Asked Naruto as he watched both Neji and Rock try to get to their feet but struggled. Guy went into explanation. You see, Lee had Neji trapped in his Omote range, initial Lotus, and was spiraling fast toward the ground. Neji quickly output his chakra from his body as he would do for a heavenly spin attack. Seeing as they were both already spinning so fast from the initial Lotus, Neji didn't have to spin his body to create the dome of chakra. In turn, the chakra hit Lee and tore the bandages that were around Neji, sending Lee off and hitting the tree. Although Neji got loose from the initial Lotus, he had no time to recover from the speed at which he was spiraling toward the ground, so he hit the ground just as bad as Lee did. Neji and Lee both stood up once again. That's enough for today, you guys. Nice work, said Guy with his nice guy pose and a thumbs up. And as a reward for such a great fight, we'll go out to eat as a team. Rock Lee and Neji relaxed and smiled at each other. Guy turned to Naruto and Sai. Hey, you guys are welcome to join us. No, that's okay, replied Naruto as Sai stayed silent. We wanted to know if you have seen Sakura anywhere. Tenten spoke up. Oh, yeah, I just saw her headed towards the mall. I think she might be going to shop for her Valentine's Day festival gift. Great, thank you, Tenten, Naruto said, and he and Sai went off to the mall in search of Sakura. She has to be here. It's the only place we haven't looked, said Naruto as he and Sai walked into the Konohagakure department store. Naruto looked to the left and Sai looked to the right in search of Sakura but still didn't see her. I guess Tenten was wrong, said Naruto as he rubbed the back of his head and briskly swiped his hair back and forth. Well, she did say that she was coming here to buy a present for the Valentine's Day festival. Maybe she is in a part that sells things that she likes to get for people, suggested Sai looking at Naruto. Naruto hummed and thought as he placed his right hand up to his chin and looked down, thinking when he suddenly remembered something. The necklace, shouted Naruto as he his fist down on his other palm, finally coming up with a good guess of where she might be. Necklace? Asked Sai. Yeah, I remember how Hinata said she loved it. Maybe Sakura-chan is looking at it as well. Come on, Naruto answered, then ran off with Sai in the direction of the jewelry department. There she is, shouted Naruto, pointing at Sakura, who was holding a small jewelry box. Sakura-chan, he shouted out to her. Sakura turned her gaze, from the box she was holding, to Naruto and Sai, who just stopped running and stood in front of her. Oh hey Naruto, Sai. What's wrong? She asked them. We've been looking for you, replied Sai. You have? Why? Asked Sakura. Well, Sakura-chan, we haven't seen you since the day before, and when we asked people if they had seen you, they said no, so we got kinda worried. That's all, explained Naruto with a playful chuckle. Oh, I'm alright, Sakura said with a smile that seemed almost fake in a way. Just shopping. Shopping for the Valentine's Day festival tomorrow? Asked Naruto as he started to think about what this could mean. Why yeah, she replied with a sort of uncertain stammer in her voice. After her response, Naruto looked at her and wondered if this could mean that Sasuke would be there. He had a hunch deep in the pit of his stomach that she somehow ended up with him at the end of the tunnel of destiny and still believes it. Who are you going to the festival with? Asked Sai to Sakura. Sakura's eyes jolted fully open after hearing Sai's question, then she slowly turned her head to the side, avoiding eye contact with Naruto and Sai. Well, I was hoping that SAs, but before Sakura could finish her statement, she was interrupted with a sudden, hey, from Shikamaru and Temari as they walked up behind Naruto and Sai. Hey Shikamaru. Hey Temari, said Naruto. Sai gave a slight head bow to them as a hello, and Sakura smiled big as she was hoping for an interruption before she could say what she was going to say. What are you guys doing? Asked Naruto to Shikamaru and Temari. Too troublesome to explain, said Shikamaru as he looked at Naruto. We are just shopping for Valentine's Day festival gifts together, replied Temari as she held Shikamaru's hand. Me too, said Sakura. I just bought. Sakura stopped herself from saying what she wanted to say. Everyone stayed silent from hearing Sakura suddenly become quiet. Well, we are going to the movies later on, said Shikamaru, breaking the awkward silence. You guys can come. Naruto. How about it? Sakura, Sai. You guys are invited if you want to come. No thanks, responded Naruto. I must see if Hinata wants to do anything later, said Naruto looking at his watch. Sure, I'll go, but before Sai could finish taking Shikamaru up on his offer with his usual smile, Sakura placed a hand over Sai's mouth and chuckled nervously. Silly Sai. Don't you remember that you have to help me and Naruto later with that thing? Said Sakura, still with the nervous chuckle. Sai looked on at Sakura weirdly as he didn't know what she was talking about. What thing? Sai asked, but it was muffled by her hand being on his mouth. You know, the thing, right Naruto? Said Sakura to Naruto as she gave him a face that signaled for him to just agree with her. What thing? Said a dumbfounded Naruto. I don't remember a thing. Sakura chuckled and gave a playful L to Naruto's head while still holding Sai's mouth. Yeah, we have that thing to do, but you two lovebirds go have fun, she said with a smile. Okay, we'll see you guys later then, said Shikamaru to then in his usual lazy manner. See ya, said Temari in her usual way and left, but not before giving a hintful wink to Sakura. And with that, they left them. Sakura gave a sigh of relief and Naruto rose back to his feet in confusion. Now tell me, what thing do we have to do? Asked Naruto. Yeah, what is the thing? Asked Sai. I could tell that Temari wanted to be with Shikamaru alone. She probably told him that it was considered a date, but seeing as Shikamaru is not too keen on girls, he probably didn't realize it. I don't think she would appreciate more people tagging along on her date, said Sakura. But why not? He offered, asked Sai, still confused. You don't want to be a third wheel, do you? That is what you would have felt if you went with them. It's best to respect the wishes of her wanting to be alone with her boyfriend and not interfere, said Sakura with a nod. What's a third wheel? Asked Sai, confused. Never mind, said Sakura as she shook her head. Then he should not have offered if we were unable to go, responded Sai with an over-analytical response. Boys don't understand anything, said a fed-up Sakura. Hey, I understood, sorta. So, Sakura-chan, who is the present for? Asked Naruto walking alongside Sakura. Well it's for, stammered Sakura as she didn't want to reveal that she got a present for Sasuke. Naruto looked at Sakura, then finally realized who she bought the present for. Secretly, Sai was beginning to figure out as well about Sakura's secret as well. This could be the perfect time for me to heal the bonds of friendship between Sasuke and Naruto, thought Sai. I have to go, Naruto, Sakura. See you tomorrow, Sai said with his famous smile, then walked off away from Naruto and Sakura. Okay. See ya, Sai, waved Naruto. Sakura remained silent for a while, then looked ahead to try and shield her secret from Naruto. Sakura-chan, is that present for? So Naruto, how is Hinata? Interrupted Sakura. Oh, she is great, but who is the present F? That's good. She's a good person, said Sakura. See off Naruto's question again. Naruto gave up on asking her if the present was for Sasuke and looked to the side. Just then he heard someone calling him. Naruto-kun, shouted Hinata, running up to the side of him. Hinata, hey, Naruto greeted her. Hey, IW wanted to tell you that I've been signed onto AM mission and that I won't be able to go on our date tonight, said Hinata while looking downward. It's okay. We are going to make all the fun up when we go to the festival tomorrow, said Naruto, then noticed that Hinata was holding a red box in her hand. Hey, is that for me? Asked Naruto excitedly. Hinata blushed and quickly placed the gift behind her back. Why yeah, replied Hinata. Well, I'll talk to you tomorrow. I have to leave for the mission now with Kiba and Shino. Naruto gave a nod to the long-haired Hyuga heir and hugged her before she left. Hinata blushed as usual and smiled at Naruto, then walked out of the mall. Naruto continued to look on where Hinata was, then remembered Sakura. Sakura-chan. Where did she go? He asked himself, then suddenly someone else walked up to Naruto. Hey Naruto, what are you doing here? Asked Aruka. Aruka-sensei, shouted Naruto as he gave Aruka a hug. It's been a while. A long while. I haven't seen you in forever, exclaimed Naruto. I was just talking with Sakura-chan, but I guess she already left. I see. So do you have the gift for Hinata yet? Yeah, I know, Aruka said with a chuckle. Kakashi told me everything. Well, I want to get her this necklace, but it is far too expensive, and I can tell she really wants it, Naruto said looking at Aruka. Well, how about I help you out, Naruto? I'll loan you the money and you can pay me back when you get it. How's that sound? Naruto jumped up in joy of hearing Aruka's words. Thank you, Aruka-sensei, exclaimed Naruto as Aruka handed him some money. Now I can get her that gift, Naruto said as he ran off to buy the necklace for Hinata. Aruka chuckled happily seeing Naruto so happy and watched as Naruto bought the necklace. After buying it, he grinned and ran back out to Aruka. I got it, said Naruto holding the box up to Aruka in glory. Great, now how about we go get some ramen? My treat, offered Aruka. Yeah, ramen, shouted Naruto in joy. And with that, Aruka and Naruto walked off to the ramen shop. Later that night, Sakura waited in her room, sitting on her bed and holding the present behind her back. She checked her watch. It read 10:59 p.m. Unknowing to Sakura, Sai stood atop her house awaiting and hitting as well to see if his predictions were right. If they were, then this could be his chance to help Naruto in bringing back Sasuke. I'm here, Sakura, came a voice from Sakura's window pane. Sasuke-kun, I almost thought you wouldn't show up, said Sakura rushing up to give Sasuke a hug. I got you a present for you. I wanted to give it to you now. I don't suppose you would be coming to the Valentine's Day festival tomorrow, said Sakura as she showed Sasuke the present. Sakura, you know I can't go. I want to go with you but I can't, said Sasuke in his normal tone as she jumped down from the window pane and sat on her bed, then looked down as if he had some bad news. Sakura, sensing something was wrong, put down the present on her desk and looked at Sasuke. Sasuke-kun, is something wrong? She asked him. Sakura, Orochimaru told me of some things. Some things I gotta do if I am to kill my brother. This latest scheme he's working on, the whole thing with the haunted house and the resurrection ritual. It's all have to do with the destruction of Kanoa, and I know, with all the resources he has, this is going to work without flaw, said Sasuke still looking downward. What are you saying, Sasuke-kun? Said a worried Sakura as she grabbed Sasuke's hand with both of hers and sat a little closer to him. Sasuke-kun. I'm saying that the plan to destroy Kanoa is going to commence tomorrow officially. I have to go along with it if I am to kill him and restore my clan, said Sasuke clenching his other fist. Hearing this from Sasuke started to make Sakura's eyes tear up in sadness, but she nonetheless held on tight to his hand, not wanting to let go. But Sakura's eyes twitched hearing Sasuke continue. Ever since I have been coming to see you at this time most nights, I feel different. It's like I'm being torn in two pieces. One wanting to be here and the other wanting to do whatever it takes to kill my brother. Sasuke explained, then slowly glanced over at Sakura, who was looking back at him into his eyes. Sakura continued to look into his eyes and blinked slowly. I know it's hard to understand the situation I'm in, but Sasuke said to Sakura in a low tone of inner sorrow when suddenly he sensed something. Sasuke quickly glanced down and saw a form of ink crawling toward his leg. Thinking quickly, Sasuke jumped to his feet and out of the window and onto the top of Sakura's house to confront Sai. So it's you again, Sasuke said, back to looking his evil way. My replacement for Team 7 Inches. Sai looked on at Sasuke and began to think of what he was going to do next. His sneak attack with the ink jutsu didn't work, so now he had to improvise. Sasuke, I am going to rejuvenate the bonds between you and Naruto, Sai said as he began to do a jutsu which created 4 ink beast-like creatures appear from his drawing on Sakura's roof. Sasuke gave an evil snicker, then charged the ink beasts. Sakura quickly jumped to the roof from her window and saw Sai fighting with Sasuke. No, don't fight, she yelled out to them, but to no avail. I have to stay some distance to fight him, thought Sai as he took out 2 kunai. HMPH. Your kunai won't beat my Kusanagi blade, stated Sasuke. Sai stood ready nonetheless. Starting the fight back up, Sai threw his first kunai at Sasuke, in which Sasuke just caught it with his open hand. Next, Sai threw his last kunai, but this time making it stick to the ground, the roof's floor, in front of Sasuke. Sasuke looked on confused, but then Sai started to form hand seals again, suddenly causing the kunai in Sasuke's hand to turn into a ink-like substance, making Sasuke's hand stick and clenched in a fist. Sasuke looked at his hand as he couldn't open it into a palm. Next, Sai performed another set of hand seals in which making the kunai on the ground turn to the same type of sticky ink and ran over Sasuke's feet, making him stuck to the ground of which he stood. Sasuke gasped lightly. An ink clone, he said to himself as he realized that he would have known that from the beginning that he was fighting a clone if he had the Sharingan activated. Suddenly, the real Sai jumped up onto the roof behind Sasuke and threw a kunai at Sasuke's back. Sasuke, sensing this, quickly turned the upper half of his body and caught it at the last minute. Sai landed on the roof, then formed one hand seal. Sasuke's eyes widened at what he was holding, a kunai, with their explosive tags wrapped around it. It was checkmate. Sasuke quickly tried to move, but the sticky ink on the ground held Sasuke's feet still, while the ink of the same kind stuck Sasuke's Kusanagi to the ground. Sasuke quickly tried to throw the kunai away, but the leftover sticky ink from his hand made it stick to it just enough. Seeing this, Sakura quickly ran to Sai. Don't do it. Don't hurt Sasuke-kun, yelled Sakura. This would be the slow-motion running part. Sai prepared to detonate the explosive tag but stopped as Sakura ran up in the way of the range of explosion. Sakura, Sai said in surprise, just in enough time to stop himself from making the tag explode. Seeing his window of opportunity, Sasuke quickly performed the Chidori current and broke out of the sticky ink, then ran up to Sai in blinding speed and L in the stomach, making him collapse on Sakura's roof and knocked out. Sakura's eyes were full of tears seeing Sai on the ground, roof, knocked out. Just then, Sasuke picked Sai up, holding him under his arms, then looked back at Sakura. I have to go, he said back in his evil way again, and disappeared with an unconscious Sai under his arms, leaving Sakura on her roof silently crying as one of her teammates has been taken hostage. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.